Alright, I'm going to break this up. Standard 1 Objective 1.3a talks about describe how interactions among organisms and their environment help shape ecosystems. For this one, for Standard A, for this, I'm going to break it down into predation and competition and symbiosis. Alright, so I'm going to have 3 different slides all over this objective right here, sub-objective. So don't worry about it, 3 different slides. So first one we're going to talk about is predation. Alright, well, what is predation? Can insects hunt for food? Maybe they can, maybe they can't. Some do. So there's actually different types of predation. And those different types of predation are true predation, and then we have grazing. Nice. And then we have parasitism, which is actually a symbiosis, but they list it as predation. So parasitism. Okay? Those are the 3 kinds of predation they have in your packet. Okay? This can also be found on page, hold on, page 38 and 39 of your textbook. Okay? Ecosystem interactions. Alright. Pretty awesome, huh? So, true predation is exactly what it is. Alright? You think of a cat.
Good morning, teacher.
Eating.
We had a sub job put in that didn't get filled this morning. If there are any volunteers for first period, it would be greatly appreciated.
A mouse.
Call the main office.
Okay. Yeah, hold on. So this is the example of true predation. Okay, you got the little cat right here, and he's eating the mouse. Okay, that's true predation. And then you got something called parasitism. Okay, parasitism. You may or may not know what this is. Parasitism is something feeding off of something else. So, let's say you've got a human body. Okay. And on this body, you've got a nice little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have a tick. A tick is a great form of parasitism. Okay? It is feeding off of you. Okay? You don't give the tick anything but food. Another thing about parasitism would be like a virus. Okay? A virus is another great example of a parasite in you. Probably the best known that I know of. And of course there's lots more parasitism out there. And we'll talk about this later when we talk about symbiosis, but they also talk about this as a form of predation. Okay, and the last one that you probably don't think about very often, I really don't think about it, is grazing. Oh, look at that, it's in green too. Awesome. Grazing. So you got the grass. Okay. You got the grass, and you've got your cow. And it's eating the grass. It's grazing. Or you got little bunny foo-foo. Okay. Little bunny foo-foo. Cute nose, everything else. Eating that. They call that a form of predation. And it is kind of, because they are eating the grass. So they are predating on the grass. Okay, so I never thought about that before, but I guess that's a great example. Okay, and the cool thing about these guys is they don't eat it all. They just keep on moving. Okay, they eat it and they move. They eat it down the nubs. That's why grass is what it is. It's awesome. All right. If you have a decreased number of producers, so if you don't have very much of this green stuff, what's going to happen? Good idea. Good question. Okay. Good question. How does this happen? So if we don't have any predators to keep these in check, what's going to happen to this? And then, in turn, what happens to these? What happens to these if all the grass stuff, producers, goes away? Because there's no of these. Good question. Alright, so now the summary. Predation. Predation equals predator organism feeds on another living organism known as prey. And it can be organisms too. Okay, it doesn't have to be just organism, it can be organisms. Okay? And let's see. Extensions, if you need to look at that, they're on your packet. And review questions. So review questions are, number 1. Let's change color. Maybe give you guys a little bit idea. Oh, let's try this color. Okay. Difference. Between grazing and true predation. What's the difference between those? There is a difference? Yeah, there's a difference. What is it? And number 2. What are some effects predation has on ecosystems and ecosystem dynamics? Ponder those 2 questions, and we will discuss them in class. Thank you very much.